I never really do. First of all, raise your hand if you heard me speak before. Okay. Okay, it's like a whole bunch of virgins here. And the reason I say that is because when I usually do a book signing or a speaking engagement, I move around a lot, talk a lot. I don't do any reading out of any books or anything like that, so I don't want anybody to expect that. But I will tell you this, and I guarantee you, by the time we get finished, you folks will understand most of these characters, where all these crazy people come from. You will have a ton of your questions about Carl Weber answered.
Coco.
Super fine Coco Brown. And you'll probably get to the point where you'll see that I'm about as down to earth a person as they really come. You know, first thing I say to everybody is, my success is not due to me, it's due to you folks, and I really, really, really appreciate everything and all the money that you have spent. I don't want anybody to think that I'm some fool that doesn't think that $24 for a hardcover book or $15 for a trade paperback, even $6.99 for a master book. That's your money, that's your hard-earned money. And one of the things that I try to do at all times is to make sure that your money is well spent.
Yes, and we appreciate you for that.
All right. Well, you kind of start this whole thing about Carl Weber. You know, people always ask me, they say, have you always wanted, you know, they say, you have this gift. Have you always wanted to write books? And well, I'm going to be honest with you. The answer to that question is, hell no. Straight up. I never wanted to write a book. The only thing I ever wanted to do was to own 5 McDonald's. And it's very important that you remember it and you think about this whole situation about these 5 McDonald's because they mean something. It's not just saying something, it was something that was very important. And so writing, it was nothing I ever thought about it. To be honest with you, I wasn't the greatest of English students. That wasn't something that, you know, intrigued me. I was more into this business thing. I really enjoy business. I have a master's, MBA in business, and I have a degree in accounting. So that was something, that's what it was really all about for me, was to be involved with business. And when I went to college, my parents basically said, look, you got to choose a career. So I chose accounting because I was going to own these 5 McDonald's and I was going to count all my money. Because I wanted to be rich. My pops told me if we could own the McDonald's, we'd be rich. I figured if I owned 5, I'd be 5 times rich. I wanted to be rich. So I went to school and I got a degree in accounting. And I went in a totally another direction. I ended up working as an accountant for a while, trying to save this money up to get this damn McDonald's. And as I'm trying to save to get this McDonald's, I found that accounting was the most boring thing that you could ever want to do. And that's not against any of you folks that do accounting, but it is boring. So, well, I ended up going with one of my personal passions. And I've been a comic book collector since I was about 6 years old. Okay? So I opened up a comic book shop in Virginia. It ended up being 3 shops. And I opened those comic book shops off of, y'all remember those Citibank, Visa, and MasterCards they used to give you in college? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Well, those Visa cards started my comic book business. That is my comic book collection. And I ended up getting 3 stores out of this. And one day, I'm sitting in my store, and these 3 white guys walk into the store wearing suits. I'm going to tell you right now, I was scared to death. I just knew it was the IRS. So I'm sitting there looking at these dudes, I'm like, damn, I'm in trouble. And one guy turns around, and he smiles at me, and he goes, how you doing? Michael Huizenga. I was like, and? He said, Michael Huizenga, like it was supposed to be important to me, you know what I'm saying? And what I didn't know about this guy, Michael Huizenga, was he was the son of Wayne Huizenga. Anybody know who Wayne Huizenga is? Wayne Huizenga owns the Miami Dolphins and is the person that created Blockbuster Books. Blockbuster Video. I mean, we're talking billions here, y'all. And his son was a comic book collector similar to me, and he wanted to cut his teeth from something different than his father, but he wanted to use the same formula. And his father's formula was, they would come into a town and they would size up a video shop. Remember the old mom and pop video stores? There's no more anymore. The Blockbuster took over. But they would size you up. They'd either make a decision, either I'm going to buy you out, or I'm just going to open up and put you out of business. So this guy, I had 3 stores, so I guess he figured I was kind of big fish. So he actually offered me $100,000. I'm thinking, $5,000 Visa card, $100,000. I took the money and ran. I was gone. Wasn't even no joke. And at the time, I was a single father, so I went back to New York. And when I got to New York, stayed with my mom. Now, my mom is my rock. I'll tell you that right now. Okay? That's my rock. And at the time, I got this little baby, single father. My mom's taking care of my son for me. She said, let me take care of my kid. And I'm back in New York, where I'm from, you know? And it's been a few years because I graduated college and everything, went to work for a little bit. Come on in. Come on in, grab a seat. And Mom is helping me, and I'm getting kind of lonely because, you know, me and my ex, we broke up, and, you know, so, you know, but, see, I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. And, well, living in Virginia, in the South, if you're a member of a fraternity, a sorority, an Eastern Star, or a Mason, you have a social life. Well, back in New York, they don't give a damn about Alpha Phi Alpha. It was horrible. I mean, no social life at all. And my boys, everybody changed, you know? They had, you know, they didn't have families, they had girlfriends, they had jobs now. Wasn't no hanging out like used to, except for one of my buddies. And if you read the book Married Men, you remember the character Jay? Okay? So my boy, I'm gonna call him Jay because I'm not gonna call his name out. But my boy Jay, right? So that's my main man. So he showed, you know, I'm trying to hang out with him. He got some things going on. But during that period of time, because I had signed a no-compete with this comic book thing, I opened up a bookstore. And the bookstore was in Jamaica, Queens. And if you read my books, you know everything is based on things I know for the most part. It's either Jamaica, Queens, or Richmond, Virginia. So I'm in this store, and I win Blackboard's Bookstore of the Year. You know, I'm the best bookstore in the country, best black bookstore. I ain't gonna say I can compete with Barnes & Noble. And the reason that we were so popular and so good is because we've had this thing. One of the things that I had always put in the back of my mind was that Miracle on 34th Street type of situation. I believe in customer service. So you come into the store, one thing about me or my staff was you weren't going to leave without a good book. You come in and be like, I want this book right here. We'll be like, not happening, you understand what I'm saying? You do not want it. I'm talking to her. I know you stand there. So I didn't want people to buy bad books because I needed to make money. And the only way you can make money is if people bought books. So they would come and buy as far as Maryland and up in Boston. They would come down to my store from different places because we would always make sure they have good books. They come like once a week, every couple of weeks to buy books. And see, what we would do is make sure we give them good books because the faster you read, the sooner you come back. So we were always trying to make sure that people had good product. And we, when Men Cry in the Dark came out, Sister Soldiers, Coldest Winter Ever, I was selling them by the case. This thing was going, I mean, it was popping. We were selling some books in this place. And right about that time, that whole McDonald's thing that I was telling y'all about started creeping in the back of my head because as many books as we were selling, you're not going to get rich selling black books to black people. So I started to go through this depression thing, right? And you know as black men, we don't like to go to no doctors about depression. We'll just be like, hell with it, I'm just going to be here and drink to death. So I was really feeling down. And I'm not a drinker, so that was a problem. So I'm sitting there, the McDonald's, there's a reason for the whole idea of McDonald's. It wasn't necessarily McDonald's as much as it was about becoming a certain level. See, I don't know about you women, but I know us men, when we're young, we put a date on when we're going to be rich. You understand? And mine was 35. And I wasn't really close to it. I was doing okay, you know, I could take care of my family, but I wanted to be rich. Well, I started to think of the rich people that I knew. See, a friend of mine went to Syracuse University and hung out with Derek Coleman. He's rich. $100 million contract. You know, so, but I started to think, I'm too short to play basketball. That's the problem. Then I started to think, well, you know, there's singers that are rich, but if I started to sing, I'd run everybody out of here. So that was a problem too. And I'm not Denzel Washington. See, a man has to know his limitations. So I got issues. I got a lot of issues here. So I started to try to bring down my expectations. And I said, who are the rich people in the neighborhood? They were doctors and lawyers. And see, I can't stand blood. I'll tell you right now, I'll be on the operating table and faint. Person die on the table. So that wasn't what happened. But you know, as you can see, I have the gift of gab. I figured it'd be a lawyer. Johnny Collins. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm figuring I can do my thing. So I said, why not? I went to a store and I bought a copy of the LSAT book. Big thick book, I'm telling you. Practice LSAT book. And see, this is my little cousin right there, right? We were just talking about yesterday. Didn't I tell you I'm a test taker? I can take some tests. Okay? I'm really, really good at taking tests. So I went and I took this test and I scored in the top 5th percentile for the LSAT. Got a scholarship. Get ready to be a lawyer. Then my boy, that guy Jay I was telling you about, that's my man. I love him to death. But he comes up to me and goes, dude, you know how long it's going to take you to be rich to come in the lawyer? He said, brother, you got to go to school for 3 years, then you got to take that damn bar exam. You got to go work for somebody for 2 years before you can even put your shingle up. By the time you start making it in real money, you're going to be 45. Depression sets back in, y'all. Start getting depressed again. But right about that time, you know, at my store, we got these guys coming by doing book signings. And this one brother comes in there with this book. And the book wasn't, well, it was okay. You know, I mean, it wasn't great, but it was okay. So the brother, come on in. So the brother comes in, and after the book signing, I take him out to dinner. Now this dude's got a candy apple red Mercedes-Benz convertible. I'm telling you, this book, this daggone car was so beautiful, I could have made love to it. I mean, it was, oh my goodness gracious. I mean, this was one beautiful car. And he said, let's drive. So we drive into the Olive Garden, you know, got a little all-you-can-eat salad, a little all-you-can-eat bread, got, you know, got an Italian trio thing that I eat. So we eat and we talking. So I'm talking to the dude, you know what I'm saying? And this is during the late 90s. When the publishing companies were throwing money at black authors like it was all right. I mean, they were just throwing 6-figure deals out. Here, take $100,000. So I'm figuring, you know, I'm talking to the dude, I'm saying, man, he said, how's this book thing going for you, man? He said, it's pretty good, man. You like my car? I got this car off of that, my deal. I said, you got that car off of this book? He said, yeah. I said, this book? He said, yeah. Well, that night I went home and started to write a book. If he can get that car off of that book, I'm saying, damn, I know I'm smarter than him. But see, I was going to do things different. See, I own a bookstore, so I know what everybody likes. And the sisters used to come into the store, and they said they wanted a book with some drama in it. I said, hell, I got drama. And not only did they want a book with drama in it, see, I live in New York, so they wanted to get on the subway and be able to like have short chapters so they can get off when they stop with a bus. You know what I'm saying? I could do that. They wanted a book that was so good and juicy while they were sitting there at work, they would be at their desk and be like, I'm going to the bathroom. And I could do that. But I didn't want to be like some of these other authors that wrote a really good good book and took all of their good ideas and put it in one book, and then the next book, everybody goes, what the hell happened? So I started to think, what was the craziest thing I ever did? Then I started thinking about my boy, Jay. See, when I came home from Virginia and I needed somebody to hang out with, I went to him one day. I was like, hey man, let's go hang out Friday night. Let's do our thing. He was like, can't do it, bro. Excuse me? Can't do it. Got a date. I said, cool, let's do it tomorrow night, Saturday night. Can't do it, man. Got a date. Well, what about Sunday, man? It's reggae night. We get our little thing going on. Can't do it, man. Got a date. I looked at him. I said, damn, dude, I have never seen you be this devoted to one woman. He looked at me and said, who the hell said it was one woman? So while I'm talking to the dude, I'm like, well, where are you meeting all these women? He tells me the Kiss hookup line. Dude, I felt embarrassed for him. Dude was on the 900 numbers. Okay? Now, not only was he on the 900, he was hooking it up. Now I'm feeling bad for him. But I'm not going to do this. For about 2 or 3 weeks later, I'm sitting in my apartment. I got an apartment in Jamaica. You know, my pops had this building, so I was sitting up in my little apartment, and I'm looking at, we had one of these drop ceilings just like this. You see those little holes up there? 3,548. I'm telling you, I counted them. I was so bad, it was so bad that I picked up the phone and called the Kiss hookup line. Left a message, African American male. If you don't like chocolate, need not apply. The next day, 68 responses. Come on in, y'all come in. By the end of the week, I had 150 and I was rolling in hot. I was feeling good about myself, but there was one problem with this line. Everybody on it is a liar. If you, I'm telling you right now, everybody on these 900 numbers, they all lie. So I'm talking to this one sister, right? She had this sultry voice. I mean, she'd be like, hey Carl, I'll be like, hey baby, what's up? And she would just talk to me and finally she was like, well, when we gonna meet? I said, we can meet Friday. She said, 7 o'clock. I said, cool. She said, I'm gonna wear my red dress. I said, I'm gonna wear my blue suit. When it got me a cut, went to the Shark Bar, sat in Manhattan, was chilling. 6:45. I was early. I didn't want to miss her. Sat at the bar, 6:45, 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:30, 7:45. I'm pissed off right about now. But not only was I pissed off, the thing was she said she was going to be there at 7 o'clock wearing a red dress. Now I'm going to tell you right now, there was a sister there wearing a red dress. That wasn't her. No. Girl told me she was a size 8. Sister down there was a size 18. Problem is, see, y'all read my books. I don't got no problem with a big woman. But you can never start a relationship with a lie. Talk to another sister, right? Her name was Dawn. Man, I'm telling y'all right now, I love me some Dawn now. I love me some Dawn. Me and Dawn were dating for like 3-4 months. Everything was going good. Only problem we had was she would never let me go to her house. She wouldn't let me go to her house. Used to piss me off. I mean, everything was cool. I mean, she loved my son. She wanted to have kids. You know, I want to have a big family and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I met her mom. You know, she said, baby, why can't I go into your house? He said, it's just not clean and tidy, and I don't like to have nobody in my house unless it's clean and tidy. I said, but we've been dating for 3 months. I went home and told my mama that, and she looked at me and she said, her house ain't clean, one house ain't clean. But, you know, some things started going on and progressing, and I'm really starting to dig this thing. So I'm sitting outside the house, in the car, with the flowers, we get ready to go to the club. So I'm sitting out there, she lives in this place called Rossdale Village. All right? You know something about Rossdale? So she's sitting, so I'm sitting outside her building, she lives in building 13, I'm sitting outside her building, waiting for her to come. And it just hit me, it was like a bolt of lightning that said, you know what, you really like this sister. You need to go upstairs and help her clean this apartment up. went up there, and you got this one of those buildings where you got like get buzzed in and everything. So I pushed it, 6A. I'll never forget it. Got ready to push the button, some people was coming out. So I slid on in. Went up to the 6th floor, rang her bell, and there was her mama. Me and her mama get along real good. Hey, Carl, how you doing? I'm doing real good, Miss Williams. How you doing? She said, I'm doing just fine. Dawn will be out in a minute. I said, great. But behind the mama was like these 5 baby's kids running around. And I looked, I was like, man, maybe they run a daycare center up here. So I'm looking, and I said, Miss Williams, whose kids are those? She looks at me and she goes, them Dawn's kids. I looked at that lady and I said, Miss Williams, Dawn ain't got no kids. This broad runs out of the back room. You know how y'all be having like the rollers on this side, the ramp on this side, y'all trying to comb it? I was gonna tell you. I looked at her and said, when, the wedding? I just turned around and left. But to make a long story short, I had this ammunition for this great story, so I wrote this book called Looking for Love about how I am. So I wrote this book and y'all really liked it. All right?
Yes.
But when I went to the publisher and they were throwing all that money at everybody else, my agent went to them, pushed them, and I had a whole bunch of people that wanted the book. So me and my agent, we sitting down. Her name is Marie Brown, black lady. She's like the mama of the industry. She's really, really great. So we're sitting down and she said, Carl, we've got 4 offers. I said, great. I'm thinking, show me the money. She says, I said, who's the most money from? She goes, Dutton. I said, Dutton Books, sound good to me. Part of Penguin Viking. What are they talking about? She said, but we're not going with them. I looked at her and said, excuse me? She said, we're not going with them. I said, why? She said, Eric Dickey. I said, Eric Dickey? She said, Eric Dickey's there, you don't want to be the only male author, and that's Eric's territory, you need to break out. I said, well, who's the next highest? She said, Doubleday. Doubleday. Okay, sound good. She said, but we're not going there either. I said, why not? She goes, Elin Harris.
Okay.
I said, well, who's the 3rd offer? She said, Simon & Schuster. I said, well, what's up with that? Before she could even open her mouth, I said, Omar Tyree. But she hooked me up with this company called Kensington, and I wasn't exactly happy about it. I wasn't happy about it because I really didn't know. I mean, I knew the lady that was over this lady named Karen Thomas at the time. But I didn't know if it was something that I really wanted. I wanted to be with a big house, and I wanted to have a hardcover, and I wanted to have all this stuff. Well, I said, well, how much money? And she showed me, and I was like, this it? I was not pleased at all. But she looked at me and she said, this is a place that you can build your career. They need a Carl Weber. They don't have an Eric Dickey or Omar Tyree or Elin Harris. You can do your thing here. I went home and talked it over with my mother. My mom was like, I think she's right. So I went to Kensington. And, Looking for Love did really well. Yes. Most humorous book of 2000. Yes. So I'm doing good. Out there promoting my behind. I was doing a book signing every single weekend. And my editor calls me up one day. She says, Carl. I said, yes. She says, what's the name of your next book? Ladies and gentlemen, I completely forgot that I had to write another book. I had completely forgot that I had to write another book. So here I am, and I'm just like, can I get back to you? I'm going away on vacation this week. Can I get back to you? She said, sure. I just need to know something soon. So I went away, and if you've never been to Montreal, Canada, you should go. Cleanest city in the world. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I went to there with at the time, my fiance. And we went and we had a really, really great time. Went and saw this movie called The Best Man. Y'all seen The Best Man?
Yeah. Yes.
For you folks that haven't, The Best Man is a book about a guy that wrote a book about his best friends. Well, I walked out of the movie theater and said, hell, I got best friends. I started to write a book. And I started writing this book called Married Men.
Yes.
And if you read Married Men, and you look in the dedication, the book is dedicated to Jeffrey, Walter, Albert, and Kevin. And those were my best friends. And the characters in the book are Jay, Will, Alan, and Kyle.
Yeah.
So I wrote this book, and it was smoking. I'm telling you, this book was smoking. I gave it to my boys. I said, look, I'm getting ready to put this book out. I want everybody to be on board. They all read it. They loved the book. They absolutely loved it. It was their wives that had a problem with it. But the book comes out and it does really, really well. I mean, it sells like a ridiculous amount. So they called me up. I said, Carl, time for a new contract. I said, can I get a hardcover deal? You can get a hardcover deal. I said, oh, right. That means big money, right? It did not mean big money, let me tell you. It was some money, but it wasn't big money. But I'm doing all right. And see, right about that time, well, let me just say this to you. Don't ever piss me off. Because I will write a book. See, right about that time, my baby mama pissed me off. So I wrote a book about it. And I called it Baby Mama Drama. And see, the thing about it is, people ask me every day, what book is about you? The only book I've ever written about myself is Baby Mama Drama. If you read the book, the character Dylan is me. Well, I write this book, my first hardcover. Woo! #1 on Essence bestseller list. Everybody loves Baby Mama Drama.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, right about that time, my rock passes away. My mom. And it was a tragic situation. Right here, spring. You folks passed away right in the spring, a little bit north of here. And it was tough. And I will tell you, if anybody ever asks you to be the executive or the executor of their estate, tell them hell no. I'm telling you, tell them hell no. I'm telling you right now. Because there's nothing worse than fighting with family over money. And right about that time, my brother pissed me off. So I wrote a book about it. And the name of the book was Player Haters. See, my brother, since he was little, he's always been a con man. You understand what I'm saying? That's just him. He can't help it. That's who he is. I ain't talking about that, bro. See, my brother, he preys on people and women. And if you are between the ages of 18 and 85, you could be a victim. See, he's smooth with his stuff. He'll walk up to you and say, how you doing? Dr. Weber. You know, then look at his sister right there and say, how you doing? Dr. Weber. So let's dismiss that up there. T. Weber, Esquire. He'll come over to the sister right here and be like, what's up, what's up? Puffy's my best friend. I work for Def Jam right now. That's how he is. He got business cards and all kind of crazy shit. I mean, you see, the thing is, you'll call him up, he'll be like, you'll meet him, he'll give you his card, and you'll be like, let me call this fool, see if he's really a doctor. And you dial the number, and Dr. Weber's office. I'm sorry, Dr. Weber's in surgery right now. And you know how we are when you hear things like that. You'll just look up in the sky and say, God, thank you, I will be in church. Because he'll talk to you about all that nonsense that y'all women really want to listen to. You know, you ever have a guy call you up and just talk to you till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, you know you got to go to work? Just getting paid. You know what I'm saying? He's the kind of brother that'll hold back sex on you. I don't know if it's a family thing here. I can write books because I'm very observant. He's observant in a similar way, except when he looks at you, he can figure out exactly what you need. Dangerous combination, right? Well, I write this book, Player Haters, and everything goes really well. Y'all like player haters?
Yes.
That's good. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Well, just about that time, my good friend, his name is Tyrone Thompson. Actually, Reverend Tyrone Thompson. He taught me everything I know about the church. I mean, this dude, he was an outreach minister. He really knew his stuff. He taught me the inner workings of the church, and he gets pancreatic cancer. And anybody knows anything about pancreatic cancer, it takes you out quick. And Tyrone, that was my man. He used to read all my books, work in the store every once in a while. I mean, he used to look out for me, cover my back. So Tyrone basically said, man, listen, do me one favor. Write a book about the church, and can the preacher be a good guy for once? So I told him, I said, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. And he passed away. So I started to write this book called The Preacher's Son. And well, as I'm writing this book about The Preacher's Son, the publishing company offers me another book deal. And it ain't for the kind of money that I'm talking. See, at this point, not only do I want the McDonald's, I want to move to the football players' neighborhood. I don't want to talk about, that neighborhood that's where I want to live, I want to live in the football players' neighborhood. And they ain't really trying to help me with this money. I'm trying to get this thing done. And they tell me, they said, look, you want to move to the, they didn't say like this is what they were saying, I'm paraphrasing. You want to move to the football players' neighborhood? Well, you need to get on the New York Times bestseller list. I'm like, man, that's kind of hard. That ain't easy. I can do this. My mama told me I could do anything I put my mind on.
That's right.
Well, I put this book out, The Preacher's Son. All of y'all get it. Y'all love that book, didn't you? Let me tell you one thing. I say this very, very humbly. Thank all of you for everything that you've done for my career and putting The Preacher's Son on the New York Times.
That's right.
Like I said earlier, some of you folks weren't here. I get it. I know your hard-earned money is your hard-earned money. I don't write these books for me anymore. I write them for y'all. All I'm trying to do is compete with myself to make sure that you folks are happy with every single book I put out. And so far, I don't think I've really had a true clunker or anything like that. So I work hard to make sure that you guys are happy because, like I said, I'm honored, I'm really, really honored. Thank you so much for all of your support. Really, really honored. Well, I'm on the New York Times television. Well, about that time, I finally moved into this daggone football player neighborhood. I ain't got McDonald's money yet. Things is going pretty good. Got a little publishing company going, things are going all right. Well, lo and behold, as soon as you start getting some money, you start becoming the family's ATM machine. So my old lady, she says, your sister's son's having a little problem in Brooklyn. That's not my issue. It's really not my issue. But you know how it is. Happy wife, happy life. So my nephew comes and moves into the house.
Oh, Lord.
Okay? Kind of crazy, right? But everything's going all right at first. Everything's cool. I don't have a problem with it. Now, like I told y'all, I run a publishing company now, Urban Books. Things are going pretty good. Sometimes I get stressed. When I get stressed and I know the old lady ain't home, I come home, make myself a tuna fish sandwich. Brother can make a tuna fish sandwich every once in a while, okay? Little Miracle Whip, little relish, whole wheat, toast it with some little cheese on it. And on top of that, I go and make me some Kool-Aid. Yeah, okay, I'm living the high life a little bit, but every once in a while you gotta go back to your roots. And I got this mayonnaise jar that's sitting in the back of the cabinet and don't nobody touch it. Because we ain't allowed to have Kool-Aid in my house. We all healthy and stuff. So I go and I take the Kool-Aid, right? And I put it into the jar. cut me up some lemons,
Okay.
squeeze it on in there, put about this much sugar in there, you understand what I'm saying? Pour me some water in there with some ice, put the top on the jar, shake it up real good. And I eat my tuna fish sandwich watching some Jerry Springer around lunchtime. Well, I come home, I'm just about halfway finished with the sandwich, and I start hearing some noise upstairs. And it ain't the kind of noise you want to come home to. So I'm thinking the old lady done doing something. I'm about to catch up. I take my shoes off. I got hardwood floors, man. I get my slide on. Step up the stairs and everything, get to the top, slide down to my bedroom, I'm about to bust them like this, jump up there, and ain't nobody in the bed. Well, I'm safe in that part, but I'm still hearing noise. So I slide down to the other side of the hallway. Jump in front of the door. There's my 14-year-old nephew doing his thing like he's a porn star. Boy got a little bit of technique too. I'm watching them do their thing, right? So finally I stop and I kind of just like on the door, right? This kid jumps up, he's airborne. Lands on his feet like this. I look at him. Now, he's looking at me. I just like, get your clothes on. He's dressed in a flash. Now, her, she got a problem. You ever see somebody try to put their foot in their panty and can't get it in? She having so much trouble, I start to have fun with her. Now, young lady, get your foot in it. Mama, I'm trying. Well, that night, I really want to hold it. You know, I'm a guy. I don't really want to bust a kid. I don't want to bust him. But I'm sitting there, and she's sitting across from me. And she's looking at me. And I'm saying, you know what? It'll be just my luck. This fool will try to get his way out of it by telling her before I tell her. So I'm going to tell her. So I tell her what happened. I can just see it in her eyes. Y'all don't like nobody doing nothing in your house but you. You understand what I'm saying? She just looking at me, and you can almost see the steam come out of her face. And I looked at her, I said, baby, you look pissed off. And she looked at me, and she said, I am pissed off. And I said, well, you want me to write a book about it? And she says, you's a fool. But I decided to write a book to show young men that there are hurdles that we have to go over and under. Sometimes you jump over the hurdle, sometimes you catch your foot on a hurdle. Life is not as easy as it seems. So I wrote this book called So You Call Yourself a Man.
Oh yeah.
See,
Right there.
for you folks that haven't read So You Call Yourself a Man,
It was good.
at some point you will get to that book, and it'll be so good that you will drop the book. And then run back and pick it up and flip back through the pages. What the hell did I just miss? You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it was something. And y'all love that book so much, y'all put it on the New York Times bestseller list for 8 weeks. Well, life is kind of good now, folks. I finally get my new contract. This one's right. So I'm feeling good about myself. Publishing company's doing well, making money writing books. Life is good. Publishing company calls me up and they say, Carl Weber, we'd like you to write a novella. Okay? They said, think about Mary Morrison. Me and Mary Morrison, we cool. I pick up the phone and I said, Mary, let's do something that they would never expect. She says, what? I said, let's write a book together and then we'll just hand it in. She said, that sounds good, Carl. What do you want to do? I said, how about I take a character from my books and you take a character from your books and we meet them up in neutral territory and we'll write the ultimate fatal attraction. She said, that sounds good, Carl. That sounds real good. So we write this book called She
Ain't the One. She ain't the one.
drawer and pull out the gun and put it in my mouth. We are working on something God will. It's not about us at this particular point. It's about the publishing company wanting to pay us for what we're working. So I'm hoping that this situation will be resolved. I can't promise when the book's going to come out. But one of these days, he ain't the one who's going to come out. And Jay, if you, well, I don't even want to say that. How many people didn't read the book? Raise your hand if you didn't read it.
I'm reading it.
Okay. Y'all need to get that book. I need to get that book. Well, things are going well, career's going well. I decided that it's time to do something that nobody else is doing. I have to put myself in a position so that I can put something on the big screen. So I decided I'm going to write a book that's different than any of the other books I write. I'm going to write a book that's almost like a mystery. Not as much vulgarity. Not that I talk that way and every book has to have all these curses, but that's how the books flow. They flow the way they flow, you know? So I started to write this book called The First Lady. Well, I can tell you this much. We just signed a production deal to put the First Lady with a gentleman by the name of Mr. Whitmore, who did This Christmas. So hopefully, sometime in the next 18 to 24 months, we're going to have a movie out for the First Lady. Well, as things are going along, man, I'm doing book signings at houses now. 150 people in line at times. I'm feeling real good about myself. This one sister comes up to me, she goes, I just want to thank you. I said, why are you thanking me? I should be thanking you for buying this book. She says, because not everybody in your daggone books is a size 6 or a size 8.
Thank you. Thank you. That's time.
No problem. I looked back down the line and I was like, damn, there ain't nobody on this line. So I got an idea at that particular point. I said, I'm going to write me a Sex in the City for plus size sisters. And I'm going to have my own personal Samantha. I'm going to call her Coco Brown. So I start writing this book called Something on the Side. And while I'm writing the book, I get these flashbacks of Mary Morrison, because I'm not really an erotic writer. But when I was writing, come on in. While I'm writing, she ain't the one with Mary. Mary basically dogged me out, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. See me, when I do a sex scene, I take you in the room, I take your clothes off, give you a few kisses, then I kind of like, go on. Y'all get the picture? When I tell you in the next chapter that the sex was great, you understand it was good. But I'm writing this thing for Mary Morrison, and I send her the sex scene, she goes, Carl, what the hell is this? It's not. Man, what is this? I said, this is a sex scene. She goes, no, it's not. So I add a little bit to it, send it to her, she's like, oh, please. Now, y'all know Mary Morrison. Sing a little bit, she goes, okay. The nipples are starting to get erect. But ain't nothing else going on. She's pissing me off now. I take off my little shirt, start tightening up. Start thinking about last night. Send it to her. She said, next thing you know, the message pops up. Your wife home? Yeah. Call me when she's not. But yeah, Mary Morrison taught me the sex scenes and Something on the Side. She gets a little credit for those. She got out. What do you say? This ain't Carl Weber? What the hell is this?
Exactly what we said.
Start reading the book and be like, honey, what time you coming home? So I'm cranking along, right? Wrote Something on the Side, I'm happy about it. During this period of time, folks, some of you probably have sent me emails. Some of you have probably tried to contact me on Facebook. Some of you are probably wondering why you don't see a lot, hear a lot about Carl Weber. Come on in, ladies. How y'all doing? So, well, the reason that you don't hear and see a lot about Carl Weber is because I got stalkers now. I'm telling you right now, popularity is dangerous. These people really believe some of this stuff to be in these books. So the stalkers started hooking up with the haters, and it really started to become a mess for a while. Come on in. Wow. And I'm telling you right now, life was really, really bad. And I really started to get depressed.
Oh, wow.
I'm not telling you, I was some kind of depressed. Now, what I need for you to do is to raise your hand if you read my book, Up to No Good.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you folks that have read the book, Up to No Good, did y'all not realize that I have become crazy? The way I was feeling about the world was how I was reflecting it on that book.
Yes.
The ending of that book was crazy, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was truly crazy.
Yes.
Because that's how I felt. Straight up. That's how I felt. See, these are the type of crazy things that happen to me. Raise your hand if you've been to New Jersey. Have you ever heard of a highway called 1 and 9? Okay. Well, let me tell you, I'm in this place called Springfield, New Jersey, in a Barnes & Noble, doing a book signing. Okay? I'm sitting at the table signing these books, and this sister comes up, and I'm telling you, she was some kind of fine. Ooh. Wait! She came up, I mean, nails done, hair done, breasts done. I'm telling you, she was off the chain. Came up there, and I'm like this. And she slides a piece of paper across. And she says, baby, I want you to write in my book to your #1 fan. So I write in the book to my #1 fan. And she says, now that's for you. And I pick it up and it's a phone number. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to keep it. And I wanted to call her, but I'm a married man. So I slid the number back over to her and I said, I can't do that. And she said, yes you can. I said, I'm married, I can't do that. I don't care. I really can't do that. By this time, like, you know, like they have these little security people at Barnes & Noble, they were like, man, you have to move along. Mr. Weber, it's really busy. She was like, I was like, I can't. Now, I get in my car, and I drive home. I go on this expressway called 1 and 9 in New Jersey. I take 1 and 9 to the George Washington Bridge. I go over the George Washington Bridge to the Cross Bronx Expressway. I take the Cross Bronx Expressway to the Bronx Neck Expressway. 40 minutes home. It takes me like 2 hours to get home. I get home, old lady's there, kids are there, I come in the house. Got me a nice big TV. My show is The Wire. So I sit down to watch The Wire. Only 2 episodes left. I'm excited. I'm sitting there watching. Yeah, got me a little beverage, watching The Wire. Doorbell rings. I don't pay attention to it because The Wire is on.
That's it.
My old lady comes back about 5 minutes later. She stands over me like this. Maria is at the door. My sister's name Maria. So I look and I say, okay, no problem. Tell Maria to come in. She said, I ain't talking about Maria de la Gloria. I'm looking up at her, I'm like, baby, the wire is on. Let's go handle it. Get up. And like a fool, I hit the damn T-bow button. And hold the thing tight. And again, right? Now I'm pissed off. I get up, I come to the door. Guess who's at the door? My #1 fan.
Oh, I can call the police on her.
Not only is the #1 fan at the door, my wife's looking at it and she says, Maria says she just left you. I thought you went to a book sale. Now you would think this fool would speak up, right? She just looks at me with the... You don't get out of my house, I'm calling the police. She gets out of the house. Now I told you, I live in the football playing neighborhood, right? So it's the summertime, we chilling out. Me and my people, we in the backyard, barbecuing a little bit. I'm flipping a couple of burgers, a couple of hot dogs. I look over to the table, guess who's sitting there eating the hot dog? My #1 fan. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, don't ask me about no Facebook because it's run by the publishing company. Don't ask me about no MySpace because it's run by the publishing company. And if you see an email address in the books, it's just to be nice. I love all of y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I appreciate y'all. But I don't deal with y'all because y'all crazy. Talk about you, my #1 fan.
Write a book about it.
I did write a book about it. You see the way I killed these people in this book, don't you? That's how I felt. I felt like killing somebody for 2.5 years. Because y'all crazy. People coming to book signing, talking about they having sex with me in places I don't even fly. Happy again, y'all. Everything all right. I ain't even have to take any medicine. I feel good about myself again. And I really do appreciate y'all. But y'all have to understand, these are books. Okay? I don't want nobody coming up to me and talking about, well, I need to know what happened to so-and-so and so. I need to have it. Somebody else asked me about James. We're going to have a problem up in here. Ladies and gentlemen, if a person has stage 3 cancer and you give them a life sentence in jail, they're dead. They're not coming back. Come on. You understand what I'm saying? You folks be coming up to me talking about, are you ever going to do a sequel to Up to No Good? For what? The man's dead. But I got something for you. I got a book coming out soon that's going to tie up all these loose ends y'all be asking me about. Come on in. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. So, okay. So I write this book Up to No Good. But I told you, I'm past those issues. I'm feeling good about myself again. I'm feeling so good about myself, I figure I'm going to write another book about the Big Girls Book Club. Now raise your hand if you read Big Girls Do Cry.
Yes, I did.
Well, let me tell you. The Big Girls Book Club. It's not a sequel to something on the side. It's a spin-off.
Yeah, we got that.
Because we got the Big Girls Book Club. We got some things going on in this book.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you right now, I have a stalker in this room. Girl, what you laughing about?
She walked in talking noise. She walked in
blast writing Big Girls Do Cry. Really. It was just a fun, come on in, y'all come in. It was just a fun book to write. And it got so good to me at one point, the publisher called me up and was like, look, we need the book. So I ended it at one point, and I kept writing. So for the first time in my career, I've written 2 books in 1 year.
All right, very good.
Torn Between Two Lovers.
Yes.
Torn Between Two Lovers will come out at the end of August. Second book of the year for Carl Weber. Y'all always talk about I don't write them fast enough. That's right.
Yeah.
So now you got 2 books. Now, in Big Girls Do Cry, I wrote a character called Jerome.
Oh, he was
I have to say this because I really need to qualify for you. I wrote that character as a tribute to Elin Harris, who I respect immensely. I just want everybody to understand something. I am not gay. I don't have a problem with gay people. Actually, some of my good friends are gay. But just because y'all see this super behind picture, don't mean I'm gay. This was a makeover picture. I don't know what the publisher was thinking about, but this was not the picture I gave them. They colored it up. Guess they figured I was too black. But that's not me. This guy looks gay. I'm not. But if you read Big Girls Do Cry, Jerome's a trip, right?
Oh my goodness, wow.
And you're really gonna enjoy Torn Between Two Lovers.
Yes.
What I'm gonna do is I got a few galleys. Take care of it. I have a few galleys, and it's question and answer time. They ask me a good question, might get a book. If it's a stupid question, I ain't giving you a book.